Hi everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks for Fubzy's Tank Academy. Quick little update before we get into the game here. I am getting some new movie software and I've got my new headset, so if there's a few changes over the next few videos, that will be why. Just bear with us while we get it right, and hopefully we can be producing some much better videos for you. So today's video is going to be on face hugging. Now, this is my absolute favourite thing in World of Tanks. This is my everything's going wrong in a sort of short to medium range battle. If it's medium range, it'll need to be fairly close, kind of the shorter medium, not a longer medium. But yeah, it's kind of something that I find that if you do it in a 1v1 situation, I have even done it in a 1v2 situation and it's worked out for my benefit as well. But sometimes players panic, they don't know what you're doing, they don't know what to do themselves, and it can be great fun. So you're going to see an example here from a game that I played last night on Abbey, playing in the IS-6, and as you can see there's just myself and the T-29 there that have decided to come onto the 1-2 line. So we're going to play a little bit cautious, and I'm not going to go any further than the corner here. So just trying to take up a nice position where I can see anything that's coming, put some shots forward, and hopefully not get hit myself. Now, I'll just quickly pause it there for you. Just on the top of the IS-3, just there, if you can see the cursor, is a quite flat and quite thin piece of metal, and that is actually a weak spot on the IS-3. Now at that kind of range it's going to be very, very difficult to hit it, but it is a weak spot nonetheless, and if you can land one on there, then you're going to go through. It's a trap! And that's important to remember for later, not so much for now but for later. Now the T-29 in front of us here, he's not got himself in the greatest of positions. It's a trap! He's using the tanks that are in front of him to try and go hull down, but of course the trouble is they can aim for his cupola, and although he's moving backwards and forwards, that cupola's not really moving too much. He needs to be changing his turret angle. And now the IS-6 has appeared to the side of him as well, so now he's really got that problem of he's got shots coming in from two angles. No matter which way he points his turret, he's going to get hit from the other side, and he's already down to just 68 hit points. So we're falling back now. I had started to move forward there because I was going to try and shield him a little bit, but unfortunately they got to him before I could do so. Now, I know I've got an IS-6 that's going to be pushing on me. I know that there's an IS-3 that's going to be pushing on me. And I'm also aware of the fact that the AMX 5100, which is an auto-loader, has not been spotted yet. And if he's followed the other top-tier heavies, he's likely to be pushing on me as well. And sure enough, there he is. So, first thing I did was try and angle my tank. Didn't angle it enough. Now, unfortunately, there I was hitting a wall and I needed to change the angle, so he gets two into me, then he bounces one, then he eats one into my tracks there, then he bounces another one. So at the minute we're kind of traded 2 shots for 2 shots. It's not the worst trade in the world, and also he's done about 540 damage to me where I did 780 to him. So I was quite happy with that trade. I think I've come out the better way there. Calling for assistance in the chat because of the IS-6 trying to work his way around behind me, and now I'm angling my tank in case that 5100 comes out again. It doesn't, the IS-3 does, and now I'm just trying to hide myself as best I can while I'm reloading. Pop out, make him miss his shot, aim for the lower plate, and unfortunately bounces. Now he's closed the distance on me, so I've decided, face hug, let's go for it. So I go for that upper plate again. Doesn't work. He managed to put one into me, unfortunately. Now the main thing here now is do not back up. A lot of players would back up to try and get a shot onto a weak spot on the tank. As long as you keep your face into theirs, then you're not going to have a problem. Now, a little tip for you here. There's always going to be a weak spot. Okay, so you need to find something that looks like it's going to be flat or present you with a flat surface. So there's a little viewport, and I put the mouse over it. I didn't actually realise this was there until I did it. Put the mouse over it, it goes green. That means I can penetrate there. So I'll wait until I've reloaded, and boom, 412 straight into him. Now you can see he's backing up there trying to get a shot into me, and he managed to, just about. And then I'll put one into his turret ring, and again he's reversing, he's trying to get a shot. Let's see if I can show you here. He's trying to get shots down towards the driver's hatch just there. Okay, now he's managed to put a couple in there, but this kind of area here is where he's going to be aiming for. So I need to keep pushing into him, not allowing him to get his gun down on that part of the armour. Put another one into his turret ring, and there's two reasons why I was going for his turret ring. One was to penetrate, the other was to try and jam his turret. And then as he reversed into the wall there, although he got a bit of gun depression, he did expose that very thin flat plating on the top to me, so I was able to finish him off through there. So as you can see, he's done, 715 damage to us, whereas we've done 1,500 damage to him. So again, it's a nice little damage trade that we've got there. Now starting to push forward, thinking that although there could possibly be two enemy tanks that I'm going to run into and I'm on low health, I do need to push forward, because if they're going back towards their base, then that will stop them from getting the numbers game up on us, because the OHO and the ISU are now 2v1 there for the moment, and what I don't want is their two heavy tanks to drop back and change the game for them. Now the KV-13 manages to take out the ISU, but we've still got the OHO there, quietly confident, and sure enough the OHO takes him out. So at this stage I'm thinking, happy days, this one could be a good win for us. I've held that flank pretty much on my own, although the T-29 did, by providing them something to shoot at, buy me some time. But that's not what I wanted to see. The IS-6 on full health over there fighting the OHO, and now I'm wondering how much health our OHO's got. And then of course the AMX 5100, the autoloader, turns up as well, and it's going to be game over. So he's now out the game. Now that leaves us with a Churchill who's camping at the back of the Abbey, causing us a few problems there. T-28 prototype. Now for me, these two guys here now needed to get forward. They needed to get into here, or at least the T-28 does. The Churchill maybe could even try and push forward and up here, but the T-28, I'd like to have seen him try and get into here, just because he can give us some support fire if anyone comes up there, and if they push for our base, he can quite easily pop out there and put some fire on that way. I hold my position here for a moment, just in case these guys start coming back across the cap, and I can try and get a shot or two in before they can return fire. The Churchill, it looks like he's going to be going around this way in case they're pushing through here, which not the worst idea, but again I think it would have been better if we'd have got somebody actually inside the Abbey. Now because of my low hit points, because there's a 5100 autoloader, and because there's an IS-6 that's, you know, he's on, what's he on? He's on 1220 hit points. Because of that, I'm very reluctant to try and push on myself and leave myself exposed, because one shot will kill me anyway, and it's going to take me at least 2 shots for the AMX 5100, and it's going to take me probably 4, possibly even 5 shots for the IS-6. So I was waiting and waiting, then they get spotted, and I think, right, that's my cue, I've got to go. I cannot wait around any longer, I've got to go. So we start pushing onto the cap circle. The AMX 5100 gets spotted. Now, the IS-6 is gone, he's out the game. But the 5100 has just caused us a real problem by taking out the RT and the T28. So we've now got a bottom tier heavy tank, the Churchill, plus myself, and the Churchill's not really doing a lot in the way of helping me here. I'm saying to him in the chat, don't let him kill you, because I'm thinking as long as he's spotting him, or as long as he's in a position where he can spot him, that helps me out, it gives me a chance. So I'm kind of in the cap, and I'm hoping that I can cap it out.
It's a trap!
I get spotted. Now again, because I'm a one shot, I don't want to take the chance. I start to drop back, and I'm wondering where he is. And I'm thinking that he's got to be there somewhere. But then he pops up there. He's obviously pushed right down quite quickly, and this Churchill hadn't spotted him, which is what I was saying. I needed him to try and help spot. So we now start to push forward. I know he's a two-shot, so I'm hoping that, you know, if I can get a decent shot on him, pull back, then it's going to make it very interesting. I get the first one in. Unfortunately, he come towards me. Now, if he'd have waited and gone that way, I might have got one into the back of him. But as you can see, if I'd have managed to bounce a shot or two, maybe I could have got him. But it was a close game. It was a really nice game. Again, quite enjoyable. 2,471 minimum WN8. I do tip my hat to Hummer 78. You had a cracking game, my friend, and clearly won it for your team. So on to the post-game screen then, and as you can see, we ended up with 2,723 WN8, 2,673 damage, and just the one kill. Now we did put 11 shots in total into that IS-3, and we managed to put 3 into the AMX 5100. 5100 we only took out his track, and the IS-3 we took out the commander, which would probably have been when we shot the viewport and the track, but we didn't manage to damage his turret there, which is one of the things we're going for. Pop this into that view for you. As you can see, 519 XP, 31,000 credit profit, despite the fact we fired a little bit of gold, which was when we were face hugging the IS-3, just to try and make sure that we got through. And yeah, that's about it really. As I say, hats off to Hummer 78. You had a cracking game, my friend. Just shy of a Top Gun. Well done to you. I hope you've got something out of this, guys. The face hugging technique. Get yourself right up and close and personal. Don't back away unless you really have to, okay? Stay right in their face. People panic. They do stupid things. And if you've got a few gold rounds, you can load them to help you, or HE even if you're struggling. But normally you'll be able to find a weak spot. It's a cupola, it's a turret ring, it's a viewport. Okay, there's normally always something that you can find. Until next time then, guys, take care. I'm Fubzy. You've been great.